I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
Found it. We were in a discount store, and they had it for like $3 a bottle.
Huh.
So I bought a bottle of it.
Buying bottles is good.
Well, when you do maintain a big bar, you always look for the deals that you can find for things that you might be able to use, and this was one of those cases where I was like, "Hey, caramel. I can always use something caramel flavored. I can mix it with something hazelnut flavored, and it'll be really good, or chocolate flavored."
That all sounds fine until suddenly you're talking about lubricant.
Speaking of lubricant, hello and welcome to the Barcast, where the bar gets lower every single week. Your bartenders for this evening will be a non-pencil, Enigmatic Otaku,
I am dealing with child today.
Milk,
Enigma, we're gonna eat the child.
Yeah.
Ravage,
I am dealing with teeth.
and I'm dealing with Doggo. This week we have two very special guests, and we're very, very excited to jump into week 5 of Babscon month, because there are 5 weeks in a month. Get that right. We have the wonderful Diamondia Doodle, also known as Sophiana,
Hi.
and Fiaura!
He is dead.
See, we muted her so no one could hear her.
Swear.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell was that?
There were noises.
Fiora is coming to us from a convention, Windy City Pony Convention, and it sounds like from a phone, no less. So we're gonna.
It sounds like a payphone.
Do they still have those?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. I have some
Wow.
in my hometown, actually. They're right on Main Street and the highway for emergency reasons.
I mean, I thought all they used them for was drug deals.
Anyway, so I could let Priest get on with his spiel as he should.
For those who have never tuned in before, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're a community submitted podcast where you ask for guests, we bring them on, you ask the questions, we make them miserable for 2 hours. 100% of all proceeds that are ever raised from the things that we do goes 100% to our horse-based charities. We'll get more into that later. The lovely non-pencil is going to be watching our Twitch chat for questions. Pencil, what's the example of stuff that we don't ask our guests?
We're not going to be talking about religion or politics or anything like that. Our guest isn't going to talk about it, and you're not going to talk about it. So don't do that. Don't ask our guest where she lives. Don't do that. Just you know what not to do. Don't be awful. You can do it. I sort of believe in you.
In addition, oh, go for it.
I was gonna say the phrase is "Don't be a dick." Dick.
Well,
Jeez.
but dicks are nice. Anyway.
Dick dicks are cute.
Yeah, dicks.
From the
And
littlest dick to the biggest dick.
Sorry, Priest. Please continue.
in addition, we also have a drinking word. If you ever hear the word con or convention today, be sure to take a nice, responsible drink. But that said, let's jump straight into this craziness. We've got one heck of a cast for you today. Fiora's been asked these questions hundreds of times, so if she's still trying to find a nice, quiet spot to be, no worries. We'll just put you under the spotlight, Sophiana. Let's go.
Okay.
Number 1. Who are you, and what do you do in the fandom?
Who am I? Well, my name is Diamondia Doodle. Folks call me Sophiana. If you've been to Babscon, you've probably seen me around. What I do for the fandom is I've helped found and currently run this year, Babscon. And I bartend. Mostly.
Those are good things.
Yeah. How did you find yourself coming to be running Babscon? I'm sure that's what a lot of people are wondering.
Well, there's a story there, as there is with everything that I do. In 2008, I decided I was done with conventions. You understand, I've been attending conventions since I was like 7. So for a really long time, since the mid 80s. And I was done. I'd been doing between 2 and 4 conventions a year for many years. I was a vendor, I was staffing, and I was done. I was not burned out on conventions per se, but I didn't feel a connection with the folks I was with. So in 2008, I said I was done. I'm doing no more conventions, which are famous last words. 2013, after I joined the Herd, I get this message on Facebook from one Sonia Lynn Hipper asking me if I'd attend a local My Little Pony Con, to which I said, sure, I'm kind of surprised there isn't one already. And she said, would you consider staffing one? Well, no, because I'm kind of done staffing conventions. But, I'm kind of swamped at the moment with a bunch of performance I have to do, with work, and with my first ever attending a convention in like 5 years. I'm going to BronyCon, and they're all within like 2 weeks. So please contact me after BronyCon, and we'll talk. And the day after BronyCon, like the Monday, she started badgering me to will you staff? I could use your help. What do you do for a living? I said, well, I'm a bookkeeper. Oh, we need somebody to handle the books. Can you come on board and help us? And I agreed, and I agreed to come on board as a bookkeeper. And then the very first in-person meeting, she introduces me as the head of business, which anyone who's ever done a convention knows the head of business and the bookkeeper, it's not the same job.
Oh, gosh.
And come to find out that I was the third person who ever agreed to work for the con. So yeah, I was basically one of the founders, and I was the person who made sure that we had a second year, because there were some times. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you could go on and on about the different stresses and different dramas that have happened with the con, but we're not here to ask you about those things. Instead, how did you get into the fandom?
Because drama's dumb.
Yeah, drama is dumb. And little thing was like 5 drinks, in case anyone's counting. How did I get into the fandom? Well, I started dating this guy in 2010, and late 2010, and in 2012, January 2012, because we live about 2,000 miles apart, so it's a long distance relationship that we never really wanted. And one of the ways we were bonding at the time was we were sharing our favorite movies and television shows, and we do a movie night, we do a movie night and then a television night. And some shows we still watch, some shows we don't. And he comes to me one Monday, or Sunday, I think it was, and says, hey, hon, I have a show for you. I know you don't really do anime, and you don't do animation, but you should really watch it. I think it'd be a perfect show for you. And don't get angry, it's My Little Pony. I understand, I grew up in the 80s. I remember the Gen 1.
Hey, same.
And my response was, hell no, I'm not touching that with a 20-foot pole, because a 10-foot pole isn't long enough. I hated the original, was not a fan of the original, was not a fan of any iteration since, and I have seen the iterations in between. I didn't watch them religiously. I'm not touching it with a 20-foot pole. Well, that's fine. Here, watch this documentary that this high school student did on trying to figure out why the series was so popular. I said, watched it. By the end of the little half an hour spiel the guy had done, over his research, he'd become a fan of the show. And I was like, that's fine. That's wonderful. That's great for him. I'm still not touching it with a 20-foot pole. And this went on for, had to be a month, because I think it was February or March. It was the end of season 2. He says, fine, I understand. You're really opposed to this, but I'll make you a bet. I bet you can't watch the first 6 episodes of the show and still hate it.
Ooh, that's quite a challenge.
And if you still do hate it, I'll never suggest you watch anything ever again. Okay, I'll take that bet. So I went in to the first 6 episodes just like dead set at hating it. And of course, obviously, that did not happen, and I lost that bet. So here I am, like 5 years down the line. And every once in a while it comes up, the boyfriend says, yeah, I'm not a fan of the show anymore, but what have I created? So there you go. That's how I got into the fandom. I lost a bet, basically.
Well, did you really lose, though? Did you really?
My life would be very different if I hadn't joined the herd. There'd be a lot of people I would have probably never met. I wouldn't be here.
Hi, is this working now?
Yay!
Yay!
Can't hear you. What?
All right. Well then.
I mean, I assume I'm one of the people you would bet.
No. Yeah, that you are. I've never met you. I don't know who you are at all. No.
I see how it is.
Yeah, you are one of the folks that I met.
So then, moving on to the next question, Sophiana. What is your favorite part of the fandom? The online community, fanfics, the cons is probably a little bit of a biased answer, but the music. What keeps you here?
Well, this is a weird thing because it's none of those things and it's all of those things. Because, like I said before, I think we were talking previously about, I've been doing conventions forever, and I've never been a part of a community that has been so inspiring in the sense of just the community being what it is. I hesitate to use the word fandom because it's more like a community in many cases.
I think you mean it's more like a cult.
It can be. It can be. There are those who believe in the almighty Celestia, and if you don't, you're wrong. But
Praise
no,
be.
praise be. Yes. The show.
All non-believers to the gallows.
Let our guest speak.
The show has inspired so many changes in so many people, and it has inspired so much good in the world in the sense of actions that folks have taken that I feel that I have a kind of a responsibility to preserve, protect, and promote this very special community and this very special fandom and this very special show. And that's what kind of keeps me here, one of the many things that keeps me here. But I think that sums it up best for me. I'm a crusader. I have found my cause.
All right. The next thing that I will ask is if there's one thing that you could say to all the followers or fans of Babscon, everyone who keeps coming regularly to the convention and supporting it, giving to the charity auction, things like that. If there's one thing you could say to them, what would it be?
Thank you. I mean, we wouldn't be here without you guys. I absolutely love every single one of you, and I wish I had more time to spend with every single one of you. So thank you for coming to my Little Pony convention that we didn't think would have more than 700 attendees our first year. So,
And oh, did it.
yeah, we ended up with 2,300 attendees, 2,300 attendees that first year. We did not expect more than 700. Pre-reg alone was 1,400.
That's a lot of people.
It was kind of surprising. We did not expect it.
And then last but not least, before we throw both of you to the wolves, and it's time for Fiaura to definitely not only chime in, but judge heavily. Sophiana, who is best pony?
I mean, I have two that I think are best pony for different reasons.
That's just cheating.
No, because one of them's kind of controversial.
That's hedging your bets.
I'm a huge Rainbow Dash fan. When I first joined the herd, I personally was a risk taker and very much more of a Daredevil type. I was a rock climber. I did fight choreography. In fact, I was seriously injured doing something climbing related that was stupid. Much like Rainbow Dash, I could do that. Let me try it. But I think Starlight Glimmer's redemption arc over season, I want to say 6. Yeah, 6. Actually really connected. I connected very much with her whole arc about how she was trying to be a better person and her struggles at being a better pony over the course of that season. So those are my two choices for best pony.
Cool.
And hey, Fee, say hi to your army.
Hi, Army. The bunch of Slaneshi bastards.
How's Windy City so far?
I guess hectic is the word for it. I got here, and the first thing they did was they didn't let me go to the vendor hall. They didn't let me go to my room. The head of hospitality comes up to me and goes, "I need you to go check our bar and give me a list of things we need."
Useful.
Well, you were the person responsible for helping create that bar.
I paid most of the money to create it, yes. So now they've gone to get the things they need, and then I didn't even get to set up my table last night, and now today,
Today you are kill. Today you are kill. Okay, Priest.
All right. Then let's jump into the thread. We've got all sorts of questions out there, and we're going to start right at the beginning with Terry the Human, who somehow comes in and snipes the thread every single week. Number 1, do you read a lot of fan fiction by chance?
I read some.
Okay. A lot of his questions tend to be fan fiction based, which is why I asked. So what would your top 2 stories in the fandom be?
I have to say, Letters from an Irritated Princess is high up there.
Yes.
Just because what I know of Celestia, I could just imagine her being snarky in her responses. I really could. And every single one of those I'd read in Nicole Oliver's wonderful voice. So that would be one. And probably the original Fallout Equestria story, which kind of set off this whole kind of fandom subgenre of Fallout Equestria, of post-apocalyptic pony.
All right. Then the next one is, what is your least favorite fanfiction story you've read?
I'm not a fan of the grimdark stuff, like Cupcakes, or I'm trying to think what the other one is. There's a whole string of those along the same lines of Cupcakes for each of them. Rainbow Factory was another one. I'm just not a fan of that. Like, that doesn't resonate with me. I mean, there's enough violence and that kind of depravity in the news that I don't really need to see it in my fanfics.
I feel that.
So I'm gonna be the opposite here. I actually don't like My Little Dashie.
By Rob Cakert 53.
The guy we occasionally hang out with?
No, the story.
Said by Rob Cakert 53.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of feel like it was just engineered for maximum sadness, and by reading it, I'm just like, okay, like, this does appeal to me on an emotional level, but on a psychological level, I'm going, did someone just engineer a story just to make me cry?
No, honestly, Rob just is a feelsy guy, genuinely.
Like, I know he genuinely is. I've met him in person. I've been to dinner with him, but every time I go to read the story, I go, I don't know what to do with this.
He once told us that he wrote it while sitting on the toilet, and I don't know if he's serious or not.
I don't think he is.
I think he's partially serious.
Well, he's on the toilet a lot, so...
That's why I think he's partially serious. Anyway. We'll jump into the next question then. What would your 2 favorite ships be?
It's got to be my 2 favorite ships, or my favorite ship. Actually, it's just a single favorite.
Well, your favorite ship.
NFT's favorite ship. I'd have to say, Starlight and Trixie is probably my favorite one.
Wow, something we agree on.
We agree on more than we agree on an awful lot more than that. But that, as far as ponies go, we typically don't always agree.
You groomed me for you groomed me for the current position I'm in at Babscon. I hope we agree on more than that, but yeah, like the full on just they're basically lesbians and we know it. Ship is awesome.
I mean, I like to think that Trixie sometimes, bunks with Starlight just so she doesn't sleep in the caravan.
I mean, there's no better way to stay warm at night. Just take earplugs if they snore.
Yes, always take earplugs in case they snore.
Number 4. What would your least favorite ship be? Let's go Fiaura this time.
Shining Armor and Cadence.
Wow. What do you have against a loving marriage?
Just it's a loving marriage. That's wonderful. Where did these 2 characters come from, and why do they exist, and why didn't we hear about them before that point?
She has a point. They were literally designed to be married to each other.
Well,
They were made for each other.
Unless you're going to say they just had a child just to make toys.
Next, you're going to say they didn't.
I mean, I actually have to kind of agree with Fee on this one for very similar reasons. They granted, I kind of accept them as a couple because people get married for all kinds of stupid reasons and not so stupid reasons. But we have absolutely no history of the 2 characters at all. We don't see any of that history beyond Twilight's relationship with Cadence. We don't really see, and up until that episode, we don't even know that Twilight has a brother.
For all we know, Shining was originally gay, but Cadence used her love magic to forcibly make him straight so she could marry him.
And we know that she can do that stuff. That, her magic is the only magic that can create love between 2 ponies because it's something that is mentioned in the episode.
Exactly. So for all we know, his backstory, he was looking at dudes.
So that explains all the bottom porn of Shining.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
All right. Is Flurry Heart the world's firstborn alicorn? Or do you think that others have been born into alicornianism?
Well, here's an interesting thing. We know that the ponies came to Equestria from another land. That's made very clearly apparent in several episodes of the show. We don't know what that land had. So I'd have to say no. If it's happened once, it's probably happened before, if that makes any sense. Like, if it's happened with Flurry Heart, then it's probably happened previously, because things don't just happen out of the blue. There's usually some kind of preceding event or preceding case study.
No, that makes sense. Someone forgot to wrap it at least once.
So I just want to point out that when Cadence is full sitting Twilight, she's still an alicorn.
Yes, that is correct.
She was the princess of babysitting.
Does anybody else find it weird that Cadence is an alicorn and she's in that stage between filly and adult?
So actually, Hasbro made a whole book about this.
It's true.
I want to call it the Telltale Heart, but I know that's definitely not it. But
I really want to write a horrible Cadence thing called the Telltale Heart now.
What, the spell that she uses to keep shining straight is underneath the floorboards?
I mean,
no, the baby.
No, we should write that. We should write that. We should write about the magical. We should write about the magical item that Cadence uses to keep shining straight.
That's something totally different. That's all of you.
It's like heart shaped.
I'll collab on that.
And
just
so
Shining walks into the room and is like, "What's that noise?"
And so 1,000 fics were written. I was going to say ship fics were written, but this will be fics.
I mean, these are comic
It's still shipping. But we got another question now. I know Fiaura is immediately going to have an opinion on this one. But Sophiana, what do you think? What is the better story, Cupcakes or My Little Dashie?
Honestly, if I have to choose between the two, I'd probably go with the better one being My Little Dashie because Cupcakes just does not appeal to me.
Very, very fair.
You know, I feel like there should be a sequel to that where Derpy is the one who's killing people, and the story is called Muffins.
That exists. But what were you saying, Fee?
I have to go with Cupcakes because we all know there's a reality where Pinkie Pie got bored, went out of her mind, and murdered everyone.
Actually, there's a video of that called Smile HD.
Yes.
I've seen it.
It's a good video, in my opinion.
I love it so much. I love it so much.
The animation is well done, but yeah, no thanks.
The music's great, and the animation is flawless. Like, it's so good.
All right, next question. How scary would Celestia be if you flipped her off?
If I flipped her off?
Yes.
I don't know. I have no fear. So I might be a little intimidated by her, but I would not be scared of her. I flip a lot of people off, so.
So you think you could take on Celestia like fighting a swan, where you just grab it by the neck?
No, I strongly suspect that I would have a disapproving look from her more than anything else, because we see in the show that she's very restrained in how she uses her power. So I wouldn't be too worried about it.
There's this comic where Yakistan actually goes to war with Equestria, and the only frame of the war is just Celestia having created a nuclear crater where Yakistan used to be.
Didn't they animate that?
I don't know if they animated the comic or not, but I'm kind of the opinion that that's what would happen.
Yeah, but not for someone flipping her off. If you threaten her subjects, then yes, you would be nuked. But potentially, or she'd sick Twilight on you.
Gave me the idea that she has Twilight on a leash, like literally.
What makes you think she doesn't?
I mean, she was Celestia's personal student for how long?
Oh, is that what they're calling it these days?
Before we go any further, Ravage, I got the thing. It's on Canvas.
Nice.
Yay.
You'll all find out what the thing is next week. Or 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, you'll all find out what the thing is.
I'm scared!
Should I bring, like, a video camera?
Yes.
Okay, I will do my best to find a really nice camera to bring.
I'm scared. Now then, instead of me being scared, how do you guys like bat ponies?
Love them.
I love the design. I like the concept of them. I think the world needs more bat ponies. Somewhere there's a Golden Gates bat pony out there. Someone did artwork of a Golden Gates bat pony. So
I didn't exactly like them until I saw these animations this guy was doing where he was basically making the bat pony in real life.
Oh,
and then the bat pony proceeded to trash his house to get a mango and
yeah. I saw that. He's just he's on the floor with a chair on top of him.
I just saw that last night, actually.
It's amazing, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see why you like bat ponies now.
How much would it hurt if they bit you though? Because they do have the fangs.
I mean, so do
dog.
I would like to think it would be like a dog that accidentally nips you a little too hard, and then they back off and they feel really bad.
Or a cat that bites you and just doesn't care, but can't pierce your skin really well.
I could see that.
All right, now for number 9. Who is best princess?
I'm a supporter of Celestia, so I'm kind of biased.
The Lunar Republic will not bow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
see,
This is how civil wars start, you guys.
as a matter of fact, it is exactly how Civil War did start.
Actually, yeah, no, it's true.
I mean,
If we-
I only have a Lunar Republic flag draped over my window in my room.
It wasn't so much a civil war between those two, more as a sisterly hissy fit.
Ah, my favorite Marvel film.
I mean, if you could get Civ 5 to allow you to play custom factions
You can?
online, well, online.
Oh,
again,
online, yeah.
No,
against
I've
other
seen
players.
A couple people do it online. They just have to make their own. server.
Actually, you can install Equestria at War as a free mod from the Steam Workshop on Hearts of Iron 4. And you can create the Lunar, and you can have Equestria split into the Lunar Republic and the Celestial Dawn, and you basically have Luna fighting not Celestia, Dawnbreaker.
Jesus
Nice.
Christ.
That would be kind of fun to do, actually.
So, endless night or endless summer.
Yeah, well, Nightmare Moon versus Daybreaker, who wins, right?
Basically, yes. And you want to know who wins? It turns out Stalingrad invading you wins.
I think the point is that they have to keep fighting for forever. I think I watched this season of Avatar. Anyway, number 10. What do you? This is where it gets strange. What do you think of this train engine?
I was actually looking at that train engine earlier today because I kind of pre-read some of the questions.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the largest train engine I've ever seen, but it's certainly a pretty impressive engine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Where is its human face?
It's got to be on the front. It's a Cyclops. It's only got one eye.
Where's its human face, and what does its voice sound like? And I can tell it's a steam engine, so it's obviously a good engine. It's not a diesel engine, so it's not a dick.
It'll probably just be like.
Wait. I've never seen the show. Diesel engines are the villains?
It's not important, Enigma. Next question.
I've been on that train. Anyway, number 2. From number 1 from Muggany. Con! How is it?
So I got on a plane yesterday to come to a crazy pony convention. And then
Yes,
Charlie
it's
put me
not
on main stage. I need alcohol now.
Mm.
Well, the word was con or convention.
Oh my god. Shit. I didn't even catch that! Oh, that's smart. I was just thinking Star Trek. Oh, okay. And the next questions are from a non-pencil. Pencil, you want to read your questions?
Okay. Question 1. Fiaura, why are you so cool and pretty?
I would ask why you're high and what shrooms you got to create that this illusion.
Can I steal your skin and wear it as a mask?
Only if you go home to my family for Christmas and pretend to be me until they challenge you.
Okay.
She could pull it off. She did it once to me. Next question is from Short Skirts and Explosions. Let's get philosophical. What doth life, Sophiana?
What doth life? Life doth be the question and the answer both.
Whoa.
It is infinite in complexity. And for those who must ask the real question, the answer is simple. Wherever you go, there you are.
Man, that hit me. That hit me on a personal level. What do you think, Pete? Oh, go on. Sorry.
Can't go wrong with Buckaroo Banzai.
No. What do you think, Fee? What doth life?
I need to call Sega Man in here to help me.
Sega Man.
Yes, Sega Man.
What, you mean Segata Senshiro?
Yes!
I don't get this reference, so I'm going to move on. Going to Rundown Jet. Sophiana, you've got 7 questions all to yourself. So number 1, what is your favorite meal, snack, or food stuff that's really unhealthy, but it's just so good?
I'm gonna have to say nachos, like fully loaded nachos with sour cream and guac, and just the right amount of pico de gallo, and just loaded with cheese. That's gotta be my favorite snack food, my comfort food for even when I'm really sick. So that's gotta be.
Ooh.
And nachos can't be baked in an oven. I'm sorry.
What?
They have to be microwaved. I don't understand. You have to microwave them to melt the cheese. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but when you have a cheddar cheese, like a sharp cheddar cheese, and you microwave it, it melts differently than if you put it in the oven.
But why are you using sharp cheddar for nachos?
Because I like sharp cheddar.
But okay.
That sounds like college nachos to me, where you
It
just
is college nachos.
You just open Tostitos, put cheese on top, throw in microwave, eat your sadness.
Well, and then you top it with the proper amount of sour cream and guac and the right salsa and pico de gallo and olives and jalapenos and everything else afterward. But
so it's grad school nachos.
Yeah, it's more like grad school nachos.
Okay.
I am a college student. What?
Number 3. Why is bagged milk the best milk?
We skipped the biggest fear.
We did. I did. I messed up. Number 2. What is the biggest or weirdest fear that you have?
I'm gonna think about this for a second. I do have some weird ones. I get stage fright, and yet I get up on stage in front of like 1,000 people. So that's kind of weird to me. I love heights, so that doesn't really qualify. I hate flying over. I'm terrified of flying over open water.
Oh.
I don't know what it is, but if I'm on a plane that's flying over open water, it terrifies me. It is the only thing, one of the few things about flying that actually scares me. Nothing else does. But that truly, and I don't know what it is. I just don't know where it comes from.
All right. That's fair enough. Number 3. Why is bagged milk the best milk?
Because it's less of an impact. Like, you're not dealing with a wax container, and you can potentially like recycle or melt down the plastic or whatever in order to deal with it.
You can recycle a jug too, and paper.
Yeah, too. True. Well, yeah, but those waxed containers are really really hard on the environment.
Oh. All right. Number 4. What is your one annoying habit? So something that other people do that just drives you up the wall, or something you do that just drives other people insane?
I'd have to probably say it's the same thing. I tend to do, well, actually, kind of explanations, and it's a bad habit. And yeah, that's probably that's the most annoying habit that I'm aware of.
Well, actually, people only do that if you're wrong. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And I do it too, which is like, and I know it's annoying, so I try not to do it. But
the next question that we've got for you: what's the theme song for your sex life?
Born to be Wild, probably.
Woo! That's intense.
Nicely done.
Number 6, do you watch anime?
I do, actually, yes.
What are some of your favorites?
Oh, well, recently we've been watching, I'm going to name quite a couple. I like the old original Bubblegum Crisis series.
Oh, yes, those are good.
Those are amazing. I'm a fan of Trigun. I'm a fan of Cowboy Bebop, which is getting apparently a live-action series.
Can we hang out?
But I'm also a fan of My Hero Academia, which just has been one of the more interesting recent anime series that has been out. And the Netflix Voltron series was also really good, but I don't know if that entirely qualifies as true anime because it was done by a U.S. group. But I've never heard of Durarara, so
Durarara.
You don't like it. You don't like it.
Not to be confused with Bobo.
so I don't I don't get my bonus points, unfortunately.
It's
Well,
pretty
okay.
good.
And
If
last
you
but not
like,
least, before we... Oh, sorry, Rav, go ahead.
If you like more serious things like Cowboy Bebop, mix in with a little bit of the strange, you'll like Durarara.
Okay. Well, I'll add it to my list of things I need to watch in my copious spare time.
The next question, before we go to the Fiaura exclusive questions, number 7, how big is your porn stash?
At least a terabyte, but
Whoa.
it's not on an active computer.
Oh, so you got a porn
It's-
server.
I have a porn hard drive somewhere. Yeah.
Oh.
I understand. I was in the furry fandom for almost 20 years, so you kind of and I was an artist for a significant portion of that. So you kind of collect a lot of nudes and porn in order to draw artwork, but you also collect a lot of artwork. So
Okay,
I have
feel
a
that on
pretty
personal level.
yeah, I have a substantially large collection of stuff that has not been plugged into a computer in 5 or 6 years.
So, I'd still agree that I go to your house and destroy everything that even remotely looks like a hard drive, right? Like when you die.
I mean, yeah, you'd have to find them all. Which, they're
Okay,
packed.
I just burned the whole place down. Is that good enough?
Well, we already determined that if there was a fire in my apartment, that was it. Nothing was getting out. So sure. I have enough alcohol in my apartment between the brewing and the maintaining the bar for Babscon that if there was a fire in my apartment, alcohol burns really well. Not much is getting out of my apartment.
Well then, the last 4 questions from Rundown Jet are all for you, Fiaura. I know we were gone away for a while from you, but these 4 questions are all new and we've never seen them before, so let's get excited. I'm rock hard for this. Number 1, if you had to be shipwrecked on a deserted island, but all your human needs, such as food and water, were taken care of, what 2 items would you want to have with you?
2 items I can have with me. Can I get a satellite Wi-Fi and a generator?
Well, what would the generator run on?
I don't know. I'd probably burn palm leaves.
A palm leaf generator for electricity. Perfect. And then you can write in the sand.
Well, they have those little engines with propellers. You can stick them under the water and they run off the waves going back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's just be clear. I'm terrified of the ocean.
Well, do you want Wi-Fi or,
That's fair. That's fair.
Will your fear of the ocean stop you from that sweet nudes? Number 2. Congratulations. You've now won an ostrich. You can't give it away or sell it because of reasons and such. What will you do with the ostrich?
I want an ostrich. I will have the biggest bird leg of all time on the Barbie.
What will you do with the rest of the ostrich?
Oh, there are things you can do with the rest of the ostrich.
Whoa!
You can cook almost every part of an ostrich, I'm sure.
I'm sorry. There are other things you could do with an ostrich, which coming from the person who just confessed to having a terabyte of furry porn, my mind
That's totally the way I took it.
And I thought
As anyone sane might take it.
And
I definitely was thinking of like weird things you could do with a cloaca. Let's be clear.
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Oh.
I kind of want to bring you like a small cake that says, "Oh, there's a lot of things you can do with an ostrich."
I'd have to go to the tired pony party at Babscon. And everyone would be like, what, why is this a question?
Number 3. What would be the song that best describes your work ethic, Fee?
Oh boy. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm a workaholic, so basically my work is my darkness now.
I was thinking it was that Can't Stop, Won't Stop song, but that works too. Number 4. You've just been handed a button that will give you $500,000 every time you press it. Cool, right? But there's a catch. Each time the button is triggered, a random member of the Barcast will be transformed into a house cat and appear inside your home. Knowing this is a 1 in 6 chance for Enigma, will you press the button?
Please don't be Enigma. Please don't be Enigma, Pete.
I will shit in your slippers.
Actually, no, the truth of the matter would be, please don't be Ravaged. Please don't be Ravaged. Beep. Crap! I need a new artist.
I would be the cat that, like, always hounds you for food. Like, always.
That's why we get the industrial kitty dispenser that just holds like 3 gallons of food. By the time I'm done, you're going to be, oh Lord, he be a coming.
Alright, guys, we're at one of our favorite portions of the cast. These are the how does it make you feel questions. So we're going to post these for you behind the counter here. What do you think, and how does this make you feel?
Oh my god, is that a Vienna sausage? Anyway.
Hey,
would you like some sausage?
I thought it was a cigar for a second, but the sausage makes more sense. I don't know. It's artwork. It's interestingly symbolic. Yeah, could be a fleshlight.
It's not loading for me.
I'm not. I think it's one of these modern art things where it's greatly up to the interpretation as far as how it makes me feel. I don't know.
A double-ended fleshlight.
I don't know. It's kind of strange.
I mean, it makes me feel like someone wanted one of those all the way through type of flashlight experiences.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's awful small for an all the way through flashlight experience.
It looks like a small pony found somebody's fleshlight.
No. You misunderstood what I meant by all the way through. I meant like cock kebab.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. But like, it's so small. Like, I would only imagine it'd be like, yeah, okay, you did a good job. Like, golf clap.
It makes me. Do you guys remember that old YouTube video of ponies sliding into boxes? Well, this is a pony sliding into
a fleshlight. Yeah, I see it. I see it now. That just makes me go, huh?
I find one new fetish every day. I stare at it blankly sometimes. It's one of those moments.
Well, I mean, that's your academic degree is kind of in, so.
All right. Now here's our next picture.
Yeah, see, when I see this, I think of I think of the Marx Brothers. I don't know why. It makes me like want to see a Marx Brothers film.
The Marx Brothers.
I mean,
that's Nigel Thornberry, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Like, that kind of look just makes me go, huh? That's like something you would see from either Monty Python or the Marx Brothers, and I don't know why.
I just imagine this creature going smashing Scootaloo.
Smashing.
I see this and I like want to throw my hand down on the table angrily and go, "Where's my Steve Irwin pony?"
Right?
Oh.
Oh, right. We need a Steve Irwin pony. I think there is one, actually.
Like we need a Steve Irwin pony so I can ponify my holy trinity of wholesomeness. Because then I would have a Mr. Rogers, a Steve Irwin, and a Bob Ross pony.
The Trinity of Holiness.
Boom. Oh, no, I messed it up.
What happened?
Boom. There we go, I did it. Okay, now then.
He's drop kicking that gator.
Yeah. Oh, I really hate it when you drop kick him like this.
I
Though,
love how you said gator and not croc.
you know, the fact that the birthday and date of death is in the bottom left makes me think that this is the image where he died.
Oh, no.
No, that's Stingray.
Yeah.
I know.
But we're getting away from the point.
Hey Doodle, what would you say to a Steve Irwin themed convention?
Actually, I'd probably attend it.
Priest, I'm ashamed of you. Just wanted to put that out there. Please continue.
Yay. Now then, it's time for questions with Violon. Pencil, if you will.
Okay. Here we go.
It's time for questions with Vylon.
Hey, how are you today?
Hired.
And that concludes questions with Violon. Oh, God.
I need an adult, and none of you count.
I am an adult.
I'm an enabler, so I really don't count.
Diluted acorn is next. Bleh.
Bleh? Bleh, 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 bleh.
Hold on. No, it's not blat.
Yeah. It's not?
It's not. Acorn asked me to say this, actually.
Oh.
Blat.
Bleh.
Russian, it means bitch.
Oh. Good.
Rush B?
Great.
Good. Now then.
Oh, okay.
Now we're going to Ryza, our favorite little Torchic. Number 1. How big is Fee's dick in Horsecocks?
Having not seen Fee's dick, I can't answer this one.
Her metaphorical dick, though, which you have seen.
I have seen her metaphorical dick, and she's got a pair of steelies on there, and definitely it's pretty sizable. I'd have to say at least one, possibly two, horsecocks.
You're trying to make me a tripod or something.
I thought you said wheelies, and so I imagined like this huge horsecock just like roller skating down a fucking sidewalk at Babscon.
No. It's like a cannon, but it's a big horse. This side. Anyway.
Rolling around at the speed of sound.
I got this image of literally walking around with a wheelbarrow, and instead of it being full of balls, it's just full of a horsecock that's coiled because it's not erect at the moment.
This sounds like a Babscon late night party.
No, this sounds like Fee and Doodle just like bullshitting.
We have only begun our shit posts.
Oh man.
Oh, story time. So
Story time.
The tables here don't have those nice long tablecloths. They have little short ones so you can see under the table pretty easily. I put the dockies I have under the table, lined up, not realizing what I was doing, until somebody walked by, looked at my table, and then they looked down and they screamed. All of the docky faces are in such a position that if you're standing 3 to 7 feet away from the table and you look down, they're all staring at you.
This is my fetish. Well, someone can laugh.
I mean, holy shit. That sounds like something I would do intentionally.
Yeah.
Laughter is for winners.
All right. And then the next question is, why the collars?
Because
Go ahead.
rings are annoying, especially when you're trying to type, and I don't like wearing stuff on my hands because it just makes me scratch and itch at my hands, and also like putting something around someone's neck is much more symbolic and harder to downplay when they go out to like a bar or go out to a strip club.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I personally just think that collars are a great style choice, but then again, I live near San Francisco, so
See, like, I'm out in the Midwest, and I think collars and chokers are just like, oh god, super sexy.
they are, but they're also a great style choice.
Yeah. All right, and then one more question before we jump into our halfway point. These are the tough questions. We have a good old fuck, marry, have as a child. What the hell?
Okay. And I see the names there, so
We have Ravage, Milk, and Enigma.
I'm gonna have to say reverse the two. So like, fuck would be Milk, Mary would probably be Ravage because I like creative artist types, and Enigma is it just has to be somebody's child. I'm sorry.
But he's already someone's child.
Don't you worry, child.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I can't really see him as anything else, so
Fair.
Okay, Milk I would marry just so we're still having technically a gay ass relationship. Ravage, I mean the piercings get me, man. I'm just letting you know piercings are a thing, so panties are off. And I'm sorry, Enigma is just a big kid anyway, right? We just pretend that he's able to drink, right?
He's fun drunk, though.
It's true.
They put my booze in a sippy cup.
now I have to buy a sippy.
She's buying a sippy cup of Babscon, and I am mixing your booze and putting it into the sippy cup.
There you go. Great. There you go. And we'll see if we can get it with the Babscon logo on it.
Babscon approved. We'll put it on Twitter. All right. Well, now we've hit about halfway through the cast. So that said, we're going to quickly do a short roll ad. Hey, Pencil. Did you know things? Well, I know things, and one of the things I know I need to tell you is about the Barcast Horse Rescue. Did you know that when you contribute to the Barcast Patreon or buy Barcast merch, that you're actually contributing money to a horse rescue charity? We take care of a horse out in Red Wings Horse Sanctuary in California named Little Bit. You guys voted for him, and now every single dollar cent that we make off of videos, off of the different Barcast mugs and t-shirts that you guys buy, will go to the horses for their hoofacures and drugs and stuff. So please let us buy drugs for horses. Isn't that right, Pencil? And just remember, if you want to check out the links where you can donate to this, you can go to www.thebarcast.net or Pencil, what's that other link? That's right. We did it.
When did Pencil become a Cthulhu monster?
When was I not?
Truth.
I mean, she did put a tentacle in me one time.
I did, it's true.
But you liked it!
I mean, she just put it in me and then she leaned into my ear and said, Enigma, I put a tentacle in you. How does this make you feel?
This is lewd. Too lewd. let's go to the next question.
True lewd.
I feel like this should be a fan fiction now. Enigma takes the tentacle.
I would write that fan fiction.
I'll let you know that I swallowed that tentacle, alright?
He swallowed the anime rape monster. Nice.
Eating calamari doesn't count as swallowing the tentacle.
It sounds like the Japanese version of eating the worm.
Actually, yeah, no, that checks out.
Dos años. Two worms.
Number 4. How many questions is too many questions?
There's never enough questions.
When the police officer decides you're the number one suspect and arrests you.
Oh, shit.
Even then, because then I have a story to tell.
Oh, story time.
No. I have a story. I have a story from today.
Oh God.
So Charlie, of course, talks to the police to run a convention because he knows someone's going to do something stupid. Someone called it a bomb threat, so they've had a canine walking around the con. The artists and the vendor hall got together, and so now there's So we made a bona fide canine unit, and then we made an equestrian Ponyville badge and laminated it for the dog.
Oh, that's so cool.
So the police officer and dog are now Ponyville's first canine unit.
That's so great. Sophiana, you said you had a story?
No, I said I would happily ask questions until I'm arrested because then I'll have a story.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't understand. My bad. Then, for both of you, what are your top 2 each favorite headcanons for the show?
Ooh. Well, one of them obviously is the Trixie Starlight relationship. I'm not sure what my other one would be. I think Pinky as an eldritch being is probably a good second one.
You're Dinky, because I heard Dinky.
Pinky.
You mean
Pinkie
Pie?
Pie. Yeah, Pinkie Pie as an eldritch horror, I think, would be my second one. Because it makes too much sense.
That Vinyl's actually a mute, and that Gilda is Rainbow Dash's ex-girlfriend.
Ooh, I like those too. Those are good too.
I feel like that beak would give her an advantage.
In the
down
bed?
there.
I see what you're saying. Now then, the next question. What do you think of Equestria Girls?
I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Equestria Girls. The first one, I saw its place within the overall story of Twilight, which kind of changes how you look at it when you think of it as part of an extension of Twilight's journey. The second one was really good, but the others have been kind of very uneven in quality. So I kind of have an uneven... I'll watch them. I think it's an interesting concept, but I think they need to up their writing game and their timing a little bit better for their visual jokes.
No offense.
None at all.
Sunset is not a pony.
Not anymore.
No, period.
He
never
could
was.
be.
She just pretended really well for a little bit.
So, is that how it works? If you decide you want to be a human, you just grab your equestrian citizenship card and just burn it?
I mean, I kind of want to sit here behind a table that says Sunset is not a pony, prove me wrong, and just sip coffee.
All right, no, then let's go to Sunbro for Life, who starts out by asking you guys, what's your most recent favorite video game?
let Fee answer this one first.
I know there's probably a person in chat that thinks I'm going to answer XCOM, and I'm going to look over at them and go, no, that is the worst love-hate relationship I've ever had. I'm definitely going to have to go with Hitman 2, because the ability to run around an entire level and murder everyone with a didgeridoo.
I mean, it's stealth if they can't. There's no one left to see you, right?
Okay, I'm going to put this way. Apparently, I'm not stealthy because my fiance has stated the following: Fiaura, you are as subtle as a nuclear warhead in Nagasaki.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that actually is pretty accurate. To give props to your fiance for that one. Oh, my favorite recent game. I don't play as many games as I used to. I've been actually revisiting Warframe lately.
You too?
Yeah. I run Clan Space Pony, or used to anyway. It still exists. But yeah, a lot of the recent stuff's been very interesting. Warframe's one of those games where I'll take a break for 6 or 8 months, and then I come back and I play it for like 4 or 6 months. It's just so well put together as far as the game goes. I just wish there was more narrative content for me to play through. I'm not a huge fan of grinding.
How much of the narrative have you done? Because I know I'm
all
working through like 25 quests at the moment.
All of it. I've done all of the narrative I've done all of the story beats at the moment. I'm basically doing end game content at this stage. Single player games. I can tell you I'm excited for MechWarrior 5. Like, I'm super excited. Hopefully they'll get it right.
Hey, Doodle.
Huh?
You're joining my mercenary company, right?
For what? For MWO?
For MechWarrior 5. I'm just going to throw you in like a locust and say good luck.
Oh, don't you dare. I'm a medium mech pilot. Give me my Phoenix Hawk, damn it.
Fury and deal with it.
Actually, the Centurion's a good mech. Sorry, I was going to say, the Centurion would be a good second choice for me.
What would be your most recent favorite boss fight from a video game?
I just did the Profit Taker Orb in Warframe. And you want to talk about... There's very few... very few boss battles that I have played where I've gone like, I think I need to play back through this and see exactly how it's going. And that's actually one of the ones. I think it's been the first in many, many years. The other one that I really enjoyed was Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid. That's probably one of my all-time favorites too.
Oh yeah.
So I've had my Sega Genesis plugged in recently just because I wanted stuff that I didn't have to stream. So people think Dark Souls is hard. Go play that last level of Sonic 2 and come back and talk to me.
Right? Yeah, right?
You get like they're like, Dark Souls is so hard. I'm like, you get more than one hit in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
All right, the next question that we have. Have you accepted Skeletor, the master of the universe, into your heart?
No.
I mean, press F to pay respect. Skeletor will always be in my heart, even if he's no longer alive.
Exactly. Press F to pay respects. Hey, apparently there's a new Masters of the Universe movie in works too, so maybe we'll actually get a.
And as far as I'm concerned, Skeletor is now dead.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. They could do it right.
Skeletor died? Did he have bonitis?
Wow. But speaking of bonitis, I'm actually going to cut in real quick on Sunbro's questions here because we got a question from Twitter that is warm and soft in my heart.
Okay.
This question comes from the Brony Chef.
Oh!
He may not remember me, but him and I have actually shared tequila shots together with DJ Tetsuo. It was a really wonderful little exchange. He has a question. He's a great guy. I've yet to try his cooking.
Come to Babscon. Buy one of his meal packages.
You know, I think I just might be at Babscon this year. So, but he has a question for us. Pony or nay?
Pony. Every time.
I mean, I guess I better pony up.
Whoa.
Ooh.
All right.
I've been hanging out with Silverquill all day, okay? And Pirate Dash is apparently not allowed to do puns all weekend, courtesy of Charlie, so we have to pun for Pirate Dash.
Oh, no. Poor Pirate Dash. Now then, number 4 from Sunbro for Life. You are in Small Horse Hamlet. What business do you start?
I pretty much only have one really good business for a small horse hamlet, and that is brewing and bartending. So probably some kind of bar cafe thing.
Man, no one ever wants to be a pharmacist in
I mean,
I don't have the skills to be a pharmacist.
I mean, if all bets are off, not pharmacist, but is pharmacist available?
Like a pharmacist has to exist in Ponyville, or either that, or maybe Zakora is their go-to pony for whatever their medical needs are.
Well, they have a hospital.
Hold on. Zakora's voice actress is here. Do you want me to go ask?
What?
If Zakora's a pharmacist?
If Zakora is their go-to pharmacist.
Do it, and ask her if she wants to be on the Barcast sometime.
Okay.
Do it!
Yes!
Holy shit, this is... Okay.
My stupid questions led somewhere, you guys.
They do occasionally go places.
Okay, Enigma, everybody eventually hits something. I mean, a bad clock is still right twice a day.
You have been invalidated.
Not if you're using military time.
I'm happy. Now then. Okay. Number 5. Do you even praise, bro?
Always.
I mean, we call it the sun butt for a reason, right?
Yep, praise the sunbutt. All hail sunbutt.
All hail
makes Sunbro so fucking mad.
Now we're going to questions from Alex _. Number 1. Did you do it?
Yeah. Yes. Wait.
I hid the body and all the evidence. You can't prove it.
You just admitted it, though.
Live to a studio audience, even.
We
Well,
have
that concludes this week's Barcast.
Do you want to hide a body? It doesn't have to be a fresh one. I got
It doesn't have to be in one piece. I've got a hacksaw.
Yeah, you know, I would laugh more, except that both Fee and I have a list.
Oh, shit.
None of them would be missed.
Number 2. Did I do it?
You helped.
Oh, shit. You know, actually, I'm that supportive of a friend. I would believe that.
No. You didn't just help. We made the suggestion, and you came back with the plan.
Right?
Actually,
that's normally me, isn't it?
Oh man, that was too real. I'm just sitting here like, I wouldn't kill someone for Fiaura. Oh well, actually, well.
I'd actually come up with a plan and let her do it. Yeah, I mean.
Number 3. What's the secret to success?
Luck. And occasionally work.
only occasionally.
Having a head harder than a steel beam.
Yeah. And ignorance, actually, not knowing you should fail, actually will allow you to succeed more times than not.
Or you could just have a donkey.
Donkey!
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to Lone Trooper for the next set of questions. Number 1, what is your favorite heartwarming experience you've had while running a convention?
Okay. I have one that's actually topical because the person responsible for it's in this chat. In 2016, when we first did convention theatrics or convention theme as a thing and had a story, I recruited this relative unknown who knew nothing about the fandom to come on board and play our villain. And didn't know much about her at the time. She was recommended to me by one of my staff. She came on board, she flew out to the con, and she and I talked an awful lot leading up to the con about how I never really have time to go into the vendor's hall. I never really have time to go to panels. I never really have time as a convention executive. I never really have time to go and enjoy the cons I typically work at. I'm always working at them. And a lot of times when I go and attend a con, I'm usually going to represent my own con. So I don't really get to have as much fun at conventions as attendees go, and I kind of miss that. I admitted I missed that. So I'm doing a thing for children's programming with a group called My Little Jedi. And I'm at the time was in good enough physical condition to be Jedi Rainbow Dash. And in comes Fee into the children's programming area with two people behind her, and they're carrying these box lids just piled high with merch from the vendor's hall. And they called me out. They said, "Where's Jedi Dash, also known as Diamond Doodle?" And they basically did this whole formal presentation. They'd gone into the vendor's hall and had explained the amount of time and effort I put into the con, and the fact that I don't get to really enjoy the con to a lot of the vendors. And apparently the vendors as a whole donated stuff to help make my con a brighter con, and they caught me so off guard because I was not expecting it, and brought this pile of loot as a thank you, and I still get a little there's a little liquid pride there when I think about it, because it was like, I put in all this work, and I don't ask for much when I put in the work, but in this case, like, someone noticed that and brought it forward. So thank you, Fee, for blindsiding me when I was trying to be like all tough in Rainbow Dash that first year that you were part of the con.
Look, all I know is by the end of it, you look like the girl from Miracle on 34th Street when she found out Santa was real.
Well, I just didn't expect it. I go into these things, I don't expect it, and it was a personal moment for me. So thank you.
Fee, your turn.
Okay. Bloody hell.
Well, I can prompt you on one. Someone proposed on stage.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
So
That was pretty heartwarming.
So I proposed on stage at Babscon last year. And I called Spitfire up on stage. And I tried to be as nonchalant and make her as unnervous about everything I was doing in front of her as possible. However, the only thing she could do as an answer was, instead of verbally say anything or nod her head or anything at all, is just turn her head away and just give a thumbs up.
I remember that.
And I was just like, Okay, yeah, okay, this is the person I'm marrying.
Yeah.
But that was pretty high up there on the worth it scale.
That was totally worth it. Taking you shopping for rings was kind of fun too.
And now you're actually getting married at this coming Babscon, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Babscon's first ever wedding, 9:30 a.m. on Saturday before opening ceremonies.
It's gonna be awesome.
The schedule's squeezed so tight together, I don't even get to change out of the costume. I'm just gonna get married as Queen Quake.
Yeah, you pretty much have to.
I mean, at least it's a nice dress.
It is. Shopping for that dress was a lot of fun. I actually tracked that one down, so that's from my tenure. It's gone through some changes since I picked it up, but yeah.
Nice. Well, then the next question, number 2, what advice would you give people who want to start up an ambitious project or goal, such as founding a convention or a successful YouTube channel?
Well, I can't speak to the YouTube channel. That's more of a fee question, but I can talk about founding a business and founding a convention. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're insulated from the risk that you're taking, because if it goes south and you don't have some insulation, like making a company registered as a limited liability company, you can be royally screwed. That's like one of the absolute first legal things that you definitely need to do. Once you've done that, then you want to always plan conservatively, and you want to underpromise and overdeliver every time. Doesn't matter what you're doing, because if you overpromise and then can't deliver, you'll look really bad.
That's true.
And be realistic. Don't shoot to be, for example, if you're starting a convention, don't shoot to be Anthrocon or BronyCon or Anime Expo out of the gate. Start modest. Plan small. If you do well with the small stuff, you'll slowly grow.
My advice is the first thing to do is expect to fail. Like your first, I hate to say this, your first 10 projects they're not going to be very good. You're not going to know what you're doing. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to think you did something awesome, and then you're going to look at somebody else's work, and you're going to cry and think you're a total failure. You're not a total failure. The other person's work, either they have professional training or they've been doing it for long enough that they know what they're doing at this point. So ask people who you know or can talk to easily that do the project, that have done something similar to the project you're doing, for help. That's the biggest thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Even if you have to pay for some of it, just make sure you get some assistance, because I have made so many fuck-ups.
Yes, you have. But you keep moving forward.
That's probably the biggest key, is that no matter what happens, keep going.
Well, there's a great line from a pretty good film, and it's a Sylvester Stallone film, so it's uneven as his films are. Life isn't about winning; it's about taking a hit and keep moving forward, and that's how you win. That's how you succeed, is by taking a bad situation and dealing with it. You don't win by winning. You win by dealing with the difficulties that arise. And that's true in everything, be it a convention or running a YouTube channel or creating a business, or I was trying to give somebody advice. They were complaining about how they have a video game developer's degree and how they couldn't get a job. Well, if you can't get a job as a video game developer, as a programmer, do your own thing. If you can't break into the industry, show the industry what you can do. That's what Minty did for many years. Minty did animations not related to necessarily his education or the work he was doing, but he did it to show what he could do. And then now he works in the industry. I think. I don't know what his current employment situation was. He was working in the industry. But there's a lot of folks that have done fan stuff on YouTube that now work in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
and that's not just animation. Like I know fight choreographers that do movie choreography who started off with me. Well, I shouldn't say started off with me, but started off at the level I started off at, working with a fan group doing, choreography recreations for stage performances. I know someone who I grew up with, actually. Like I grew up with a gal in elementary school who now represents and works for a group that funds movies. And so she goes and talks with the stars and directors and actors and producers about putting together movies, funding for movies. And that's Legion M, by the way, if anyone's curious who that I'm talking about. So, but she had a ton of difficulties growing up and getting to that point, and everyone does, I think. So it's just about moving forward and taking what you learn and making it better, or taking what you do and learning from the mistakes you make, and learning from other people's mistakes. Anyway.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Did you have anything else to add, Fiaura?
Not off the top of my head.
Well, fair enough. All right, the number 3. What are your predictions on the upcoming Generation 5 for My Little Pony? How do you believe the main 6 will change as characters?
I have 0. I'm putting 0 effort into figuring anything out at this point until I see it.
I'm kind of with Fee on that, actually. I think Gen 5, I don't almost even want to call it Gen 5. I just want to call it, the next new My Little Pony franchise. I mean, it's like, you have Star Trek, right? And each iteration, especially of the recent series, each one is completely different than the previous one. DS9 was different than Next Gen. Voyager was different than DS9 and Next Gen. Enterprise was even more different, but it could have used better writing. Discovery, the first season of Discovery, is radically different. And you can have these new generations, these new series, and have it be completely different. And that's okay, as long as it's well written and compellingly animated, and the storytelling is good. But again, I'm not putting a whole lot into thinking what it's going to be like. I want to see it first. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of it's going to be X or it's going to be Y. We don't know. We just don't know.
Totally fair. So, number 4 then, for just Sophiana. What is the hardest part about running and maintaining a working convention? And what was the most important thing you learned about running a convention?
So I staffed other conventions before running Babscon, or being involved in the running of Babscon, and there's a couple of things I've learned. Don't put off something. If you want something done and you don't have the staff, it either falls on you or it's not going to happen. And don't put it off. If you have something you want to do, don't put off. Don't wait 6 months. If you've got a 10-month cycle between cons, don't wait 6 months and then start working on it. Start putting down the groundwork for it right away. Planning ahead. I've learned a lot about planning ahead, about how not to plan ahead. The folks who look good on paper, this is something I still find out to this day. I'll run across somebody whose resume looks absolutely amazing. They've worked for multiple conventions in executive positions, and they look really good on paper. Like the resume looks good, and the references more or less check out. And then you hire them, and they don't work.
I've got a story about that.
I have lots of stories about that. I mean, that whole thing, and then there's fiscal responsibility and understanding that you can always, if you're in a spot of trouble financially, reasonable people can always work something out. So talking to your creditors or to your attendees or being open with them is really unbelievably critical. Because for a long time, Babscon wasn't very open with our attendees about things going on behind the scenes. So, and that has hurt our public perception in some cases. But I mean, that's true of other. I've seen it happen with other conventions. Don't alienate your attendees. There's a local convention here that's dying because it alienated its attendees. They went on to found the attendees went on to found 2 other conventions that are now massive as a result. There's just so many lessons, and every day is a new one, really.
All right. Then the next question, I kind of want to. Well, no, we're not. Actually, we don't have time for that. So we'll go to number 5. Fiaura, what got you into creating science videos about NLP, and which video are you most proud of creating?
The person over there that's pink, that has red hair and a broken horn, yeah, blame her.
Yeah, it's my fault. It is my fault.
Including the 4 extra graduate level classes I ended up attending as still having my professor pass to attend said classes to do additional research. Yeah, all of it's her fault. Second, video I'm most proud of creating, none of them. Every time I watch my own videos, I see all the faults. I see things I should have improved on. I see things I should have done better. I literally do not like any of my videos.
I kind of understand that.
Like, I do them and get them done, and I enjoy the process of creating them and enjoy the process of making them. But as soon as I go to watch my own work, I'm like, there's so many things here that I should fix, and I can't because there's no way to upload a replacement video. You just have to deal with the one you have. And so I hate watching my own videos now because every time it turns into a note-taking session for me to figure out what I should fix next time.
All right, number 6. Let's get personal. Let's get deep. Where would you 2 like to see yourselves in the next 3 to 5 years, both personally and professionally?
You want to start this one, Fee?
Okay, I got this. Very simple. I'm just gonna post a picture.
All right.
Go on.
I await your picture.
I'm awaiting the picture too. While she's doing the picture, I have a couple of standing offers already. I'm not even out of college and these offers have nothing to do with my degree. I have a standing kind of unofficial agreement to potentially do the paperwork and business side of running a bar and grill type place for a couple of Babscon staffers who have been thinking about doing said thing for years. I have a standing offer from one of my executives to be a co-owner and bartender at a bar she plans to open in Ireland. And I've tossed around the idea of doing work for with Stefan Winter, who's a vendor, insofar as doing room parties on a commission kind of thing. And of course, I've talked with the Brony Chef extensively about providing wines and meads for his various projects that he's working on. So I kind of see myself continuing along that same vein, basically brewing and bartending. And I really do need to sit down and get my California bartender's license. So yeah, I see myself doing more of that and less of the international business stuff, which is what my degree's ostensibly about.
Now it's time to hit the emotional roller coaster, and I've only got like about 14 minutes before I have to go run a panel. So in general chat right now, there's a picture from this morning.
Oh shit. I opened it right up to an ice cream cake. Oh, here we go.
I'm waiting for general chat to get caught up.
Congratulations!
The book.
So I have to say this. A lot of people have been wondering why I've been so tired and what's actually been going on since Thanksgiving. It took 3.5 months to get a legal writ, this being a writ of parody. So that is legally not a fan fiction, that is legally a parody.
That's not easy. Congratulations.
And then I had to wait 30 days to see if Hasbro would jump up and actually throw down a lawsuit. And on day 33, they were past their 30-day mark. They said, would you please put this disclaimer into the book? And I handed it to my lawyer and had him translate it to read like the other disclaimers. And I was going to young authors conferences from age 11 until 19 and could not get anything published. I have 2 completely original novels handwritten in my closet, one of which exceeds 800 handwritten pages that will probably never see the light of day. So this morning, those boxes were pulled in front of my table 5 minutes before the vendor hall opened, and it took all 5 minutes for someone to get me to stop crying.
Congratulations. You welcome to the club of being a published author.
That book, that book also, between legal fees, publication fees, and court costs, has run me $9,800
Jesus
to
Christ.
get the first 100 copies.
That's a serious chunk of change.
So that has been my life since Thanksgiving, mostly. Like, that's why I've only been putting out 1 YouTube video a week. That's why, like, I always seem tired, and why I disappear on Monday and Wednesday is because I was going down to the courthouse to sit in front of 3 lawyers and a judge, all of whom I had to pay to proceed to be berated with questions as to why they should approve this as a parody, because I had to pay for, we were still editing this stupid thing. We were still editing this, so it wasn't even the final version. I had to pay for printed proofs with additional not for resale stamps on the front covers and inside of them that I don't even get to keep. They go in a fucking courtroom archive house. Those printed proofs will never see the light of day ever again. They're now government property. In order to get a notarized writ of parody.
Yeah, well, welcome to the horror that is publishing parody.
So it's
this is
done.
Why. Yep.
It's a physical, like, I was panicking and going absolutely nuts because I wasn't sure they were going to be here. Charlie and Winnie City 6 weeks ago said they would be, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to have the right to publish till next week. Crap. But yeah, somebody had to drive to Aiken, Ohio to the publishing house and actually physically pick them up and drive back to Chicago yesterday to get them here. So yeah, I broke down crying this morning because those are physically a thing now. And next Friday they go on Amazon's website and Barnes & Noble's website, and then I do my first book signing the week after Babscon.
That's really awesome.
Is this the same book that has my name in it?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
No.
I'm involved in this.
Enigma's name's in it under the editors. Ravage's name is in it under the artists. Ravage, I owe you. Hold on the speaker.
Awesome. We maybe do business deals afterwards.
Yeah.
You have a question?
Yeah.
I mean, technically we only got 20 minutes left. I'm happy to go into OT.
No. I've got 9 minutes and I have to go run a panel. You guys are free to keep going.
Exactly.
But
So
Ravage,
let's get through as many questions as
Ravage,
we can.
I just had to go look this up real quick. I have sold 57 copies of the 100 so far.
Jesus.
Nice. Now then.
So, there you go.
Number 7. What has been the happiest moment of your life? Please include all the touching moments.
That sounds lewd.
Okay, I said 8 minutes, not 8 years.
Right?
Right on this doll where the moment touched you.
I'd have to say that when me and my boyfriend became a couple is probably one of the happiest moments in my life, because I'd known him for like 2 or 3 years before we started dating. And it was always one of these things of, this is a fling, this isn't going anywhere, it's not going to last. And now here it is, like 8.5 or 9 years later. So, yeah, it's been a happy, wild ride. And I could talk a lot more about that, but we only have like 8 minutes, so.
I get a happy moment every day because my girlfriend keeps jumping up and down that her boobs are growing.
Yeah, that's and then she goes on these whole self-critical things on Facebook. And I have to be like, stop that.
She got her first lace bra today and just sent it to me, and I'm like, damn it, I'm in a skirt. This isn't fair.
Right?
Next.
More question time! Sorry.
Yeah, no, so much dead air. Number 8. Out of everything you've created, including characters, animations, artwork, conventions, which artistic creation would you like to be remembered for the next 100 years?
Honestly, Babscon, having an impact on the number of people that Babscon has had an impact on, I would love it if it was remembered in 100 years. I don't even need my name mentioned in it. I in whatever entry shows up. I just really would like to know that have had a lasting impact that has lasted that long.
So in 1,000 years, when we've had the nuclear war and we're having the post-apocalypse and everything, I want somebody to find a copy of that book and then proceed to try to think it's a Bible.
That would be funny. I would pay to see that.
So before the bombs, we were horses.
But we don't talk about religion here anyway.
All right, number 9. This is going to be the last one we take from Lone Trooper, just so that way we can get through all the questions. Sophiana and Fiaura, how does this make you feel? You two are the most important, most talented, most interesting, and extraordinary people in the universe, and both of you are capable of amazing things.
Well, duh. I'm awesome as I want to be.
Okay, Rainbow Dash.
Get out.
My ego doesn't need any more inflating. Please come deflate it with, like, tell me why I'm a terrible human being, please.
Oh, I don't do that. I just point out all the things you flub on.
If your ego is erect for more than 4 hours, please consult your therapist.
Well, my therapist is a very rich woman.
RK Striker JK5 is up next. Number 1, what is your favorite non-MLP franchise?
Ooh, that's a tough one for me. I'd have to say either Firefly, because it had so much potential and it was cut short.
Yes.
Or, God, what's on now? The Expanse would probably be my other series that I'm currently a huge fan of.
So off the air would be Futurama. Still ongoing would be Rick and Morty.
Okay, fair points.
Number 2, have you done any fan works for a non-MLP franchise?
I think the answer for both of us is yes, but I'll let Fee expand more on her involvement in other fandom. I used to do lightsaber fight choreography indirectly for Lucas, LFL, Lucas fan licensing. So, yes.
Warhammer 40K, Gundam, Ruby. There's a list. It's
I
long.
didn't know you did Gundam stuff.
I've done a couple things. The first thing I did for that involved Gundams was can we really build mecha or are we just snorting beam sabers?
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now.
I've also analyzed Char as a character and physical concept that could a soldier be that perfect?
Now then, let's go to Jammer. Number 2, a very topical question. If Enigma is part of the Babscon team, which he is, if you were given 33 drinks of your choice every week, would you give Enigma a place to stay at or near your home?
I mean, you need a pretty good strong drink to be con staff anyway, so probably.
No.
I love the way you just said that. Oh my god.
She doesn't want me shitting in her slippers.
What is with you and shitting with slippers today?
It's not that. It's that a woman must survive on more than alcohol.
You shut your whore mouth. That is not true.
I mean, you can mix alcohol with the proper nutrient mix in it.
Have you ever had a Bloody Mary? That is pretty much breakfast, to be honest.
Oh, there you go. There's one example of that.
Do a screwdriver for lunch?
Yeah, or fruit smoothies that have vodka in them. There you go.
Yeah. I'll just whip up one of the sangrias I had Fee drink while she was on a stream.
See, there. You can live on alcohol.
And you can't forget my favorite drink, Baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska.
Number 3. Would you hug Thing Pony? Would you kiss them goodnight? Tell them every little thing is going to be alright, and of course, stick the peanut in it.
Do you know what Thing Pony is?
There's a link to Thing Pony. I have gone and looked. I certainly would probably hug Thing Pony and maybe kiss them goodnight.
Very brave.
I am. I know no fear. And fears are made to be faced. So, and yeah, probably tell them every little thing is going to be all right because ultimately, in the end, it doesn't even matter.
One thing. No, sorry.
Wake me up inside.
Go ahead, P.
I have subscriptions with Xenomorphs. You think I can touch Thing Pony?
I mean, you could if, wanted to.
I mean, it's not Billy.
I don't get this reference.
I swear, if I walk downstairs and Billy's downstairs, I'm just turning around and coming back to the hotel room and just being like, nope, done.
Okay, so does that mean I need to hire somebody and get an alien bodysuit for Babs?
She's there.
Actually, you're wrong. I would. I'm not going to because the money can be spent better elsewhere. Fee has a thing with the xenomorphs against the xenomorphs from Alien. Billy was the alien that chased her when she was playing Alien Isolation.
Oh man.
So next year, are we going to have a con where in the story, Silverspan gets face hugged?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm not involved in that part of the con at the moment. But next year very well could be Ponies in Space. So
But speaking of hugs and ponies in space, I'm afraid it is. I want to let you know it is 10 minutes till Fiaura. I know you do have a panel, and we do not want you to be late.
I'm trying to do, but
Charlie might pee on Mike again.
So let's finish this up. Moving forward.
Number 4. How good, cute, or acceptable would you rate chest floof, hoofsy fluffs, or ear tufts? And how about extra pompy manes?
I mean, I find them cute. All of them.
I mean, if you want to have it, it's your go for it. Why not?
All right. The next question. Number 5, has the disappointment kicked in yet?
I am disappointed in humanity in broad strokes many days of the life. So I'm not really sure what they're asking disappointment about. But yes, I'll say yes.
I'll let you know when the disappointment hits.
All right. Now, the final set of questions are from my man. Number 1. If you had to pick one pony to be your angel and another pony to be your devil, which two would they be? And multiple pinkies don't count.
Twilight and Rainbow Dash.
I can see that.
If I had to pick one for each, Rarity and Pinkie Pie, and I'll let you figure out which one's which.
Whoa. 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 Number 2. Where do you think you would be right now, Fiaura, if you turned down playing Queen Craig?
I imagine there's a reality where I did that, because I seriously had moments up until I got on the airplane, I was reconsidering doing it over and over again. And I honestly think that I would not be nearly as happy. I might have more subscribers and have more fans and, not have to deal with people hating pony stuff, but I honestly don't think I would be as happy.
Very fair. Number 3. What do you like about this fandom? And if you had the ability to change something, what would you change?
I like the fact that the fandom can unite very, very strongly to support really good causes. And what I would think would change is there's a certain level of toxicity that has become more and more evident. I would like it to go away, please.
Yes, thank you. Well said.
Fee?
I like the fact that when I go to conventions at anime and Comic-Cons, I leave and I'm just tired and want to go home. When I go to conventions at PonyCons, I cry because I miss all the people who are there.
So true. So true. The next question is, where do you think the fandom is going to go in the next few years, given our uncertain nature of the next season and the next generation?
You want to take this one first, Fee?
I think fan content is going to get so important, you're going to start seeing community guests labeled as guests of honor.
I mean, I think it's already happened at 1 or 2 conventions. I agree with Fee. I think fan content is it's always been important. But if you look through my folder of pony artwork, you'll find that I don't have a lot of stuff from the show itself. I have a lot of fan art. And I think that's trend is going to continue. I think we're going to see, ideally, I would like to see more content. Because here's the thing, is you've got all these people talking about how they want how the fandom's going to end. How they're not interested in the fandom anymore. Well, you're only done with the fandom if you walk away from it and you don't create and you don't add to it. And to paraphrase a line that got me hired working staff at another convention many years ago, don't ask what your fandom does for you or can do for you. Ask what you can do to help your fandom or promote your fandom.
It's very, very true. And then last but not least, the final question that we have. If each pony was a different drink, what kind of drink would each of them be?
Okay, that's kind of a loaded question for the 2 bartenders here.
I know, that's why I'm so excited.
So Rainbow Dash is basically a higher octane adios motherfucker, an ADFM. Twilight is kind of a lower octane, almost like an alcoholic soda. That's got maybe a little bit of lavender, a little bit of coconut flavor to it. It's actually pretty good. Fluttershy is kind of a margarita. I can't not see her as a margarita. Rarity is gotta be a martini, like a maraschino luxardo or
Not a Manhattan.
not a Manhattan, no, because she is not exclusive to Manhattan. I see her as definitely a higher class kind of hoity-toity kind of martini or champagne, or maybe a dessert wine. Applejack is definitely a whiskey or a bourbon.
Like an old fashioned?
A double old fashioned is a good one with a little bit of cinnamon or whatever. And Pinkie Pie, man, what kind of drink it isn't Pinkie Pie? Like legit, like we use a cotton candy liqueur and make a double kind of a higher octane cotton candy cocktail for her when we're bartending. So, but she could really be almost anything because she's a party pony. I could see her drinking anything or being any kind of drink. What do you think, Fee? Is Fee still here?
Fee may be on her way running, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It is about that time.
It is that time.
I did try to warn her if she needed to leave.
She's still in chat, but that doesn't necessarily mean she can respond.
But if that helps, we're also nearing the end of.
That said, if there's any chances that we didn't get to ask you the questions that we wanted to, Sophiana, is there a particular way that people can get in touch with you to ask questions, or maybe some sort of event coming up that they can ask you?
Why, yes. There's a convention in about 2 weeks. You may have heard of it. This little old thing on the West Coast called Babscon. I will be there. I'm the con chair, and I'm always happy to answer questions. I can be reached. I can be emailed, I think, directly through the Babscon website. I'm also on Twitter as a Cal Alice. I think I've been linked on your various posts. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm the only Sophiana on Sophiana Artinger on Facebook. And I know normally we don't do last names, but like I said, I'm kind of a semi-public person, so I'm not really.
Is that something that you're willing to have shared in the
Sure,
video?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys. So before I go, we're live in my panel room doing sound tests. You guys have anything you want to say to all these people here who want to hear about
Anything we want to tell them? Butts and stuff.
Come out to Babscon.
Yes, also Babscon.
We have cool stuff.
That's useful, not butts.
There'll be butts there, but...
And butts are useful. Anyway, what are we doing?
Fiaura gets free high fives.
Thanks for having me, Barcast.
No
Fee.
problem. See you, Fee.
Thank you for being here.
Priest do
And that said, thank you very much, Sophiana, for coming on and asking our questions. We're so excited to see you in a few weeks, and Babscon's always just such a wonderful time.
Oh, we do our best. We got a little bit of a late start this year, but it's been good. I think everything's coming together rather nicely. We have a couple of things that we've never done before at Babscon. Every year we try and do something new. This year we managed to, using a little bit of a gray spot in the hotel contract, we managed to secure and do a thing for the Brony Chef, where we have those wonderful show-inspired meals that he's put together. We have Tabitha is doing kind of an acting workshop. That's kind of unusual. We haven't had her do an acting workshop before. We even got the most requested plush that Babscon has ever had requested, which was Little Bonita. We actually have Little Bonita plushies complete with wheelchair at this year's con. So a lot of unusual stuff. So super excited.
That's really awesome. But to get more of this type of content and questions, you guys will just have to check us out at Babscon in 2 weeks, where we have all sorts of our own events. More information coming on that soon. But until next week, this has been a non-pencil.
Toot toot, motherfucker.
Enigmatic Otaku.
Present slippers here, and I shall shit in them. Get in the queue.
Milk.
Enigma, don't shit in the slippers, damn it.
Ravage.
What?
Our wonderful guest, Sophiana.
I don't have any slippers.
Fiaura, who is now dead and giving a wonderful panel at Windy City PonyCon. And I'm a story that Pencil just released. See you
Yay.
next week!